everybody, it's Carpaccio with the weekly Pele report for Wednesday, January 14th of 2026. Made it out here to California, and it's the rainy season out here, so the river is very, very high. This is a big, full, flowing river. This is the American River. I'm down here by Fair Oaks, if you know where that is. Anyway, there's a lot going on here to talk about today. Mercury opposite Jupiter. That is a lot of talking and very illuminating talking about the philosophies and the meaning of life. So I may really be going on today a little bit. And, the moon is over here in Sagittarius. And this is a waning moon. Okay, she is, coming into her balsamic phase, closing up, that new moon that started back in December. And so this is a closing period, a closing time. And we are coming into a new moon. Okay, so she goes into Capricorn on Friday. And then we have a new moon on Sunday at 28 degrees 43 minutes of Capricorn, just before she goes into Aquarius. So this is our big shift. This is a shifting energy this week, okay, because we've got the Venus goes into Aquarius on Saturday, the moon on Sunday, the sun on Monday, and Mercury on Tuesday. Big shift from Earth to outer space. It's wild. It's a very liberating time period, but not until, I'm going to say, wait till Monday, okay? Because this is a time of, I'll get into it. Let me finish the aspects. Speaking of Mercury opposite Jupiter, it's not just opposite Jupiter, but by Monday it's trine Uranus. And you can see from that chart at the very beginning, we've got this whole stellium happening here of, Sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury catching up, all moving into Aquarius, trine Uranus down there in those last degrees of Taurus. And that's a strong trine that I really want to bring to the fore today and talk to you a little bit about. So, finally, I think I want to bring up that on Saturday, Mercury is exactly conjunct Mars. So we've got, it's a Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, stellium, all moving together, from late Capricorn to Aquarius. Let me find a place, sit down, talk about it, and I'll see ya. All right, everybody. When in doubt, just start. That's the motto for today. Let's see, what was I going to talk about? I mean, there is so much happening around the planet, and we are in such a period of confusion, such a period of instability, a period of insecurity. All these wars going on, and the protests in Iran, and Trump taking Maduro, and I mean the price of gold and silver, shooting up, and there's the currency going down, and interest rates, and if we look at this world picture, we are a world in chaos. This is a world in chaos, and we can be, as sensitive beings, connected to this collective unconscious, Neptune, Pisces, okay, Saturn and Neptune going through these final degrees of Pisces, dissolving the past like I've been talking about forever. Okay, Pisces rules chaos, Neptune rules chaos, and again we say in astrology there's no such thing as chaos. There are laws and natural laws and karma laws and gravity, and there's natural laws that govern everything that happens in creation, everything that happens, okay, and the whole evolutionary process. When we don't understand the laws, when we don't see the laws, when we don't see how this is connected to that, and the domino effect, and the butterfly flapping its wings in South America connected to the typhoon happening in Thailand. I mean, it's like this law of one, of interconnection of all creation is, to me, the only comfort, the only thing that, it's not chaos. There is some turbulence in the field. There is some metamorphosis that is longing and wanting to happen. There is a transformation, and it's gaining momentum. So that's kind of what has a little bit to do with the mantra today that I'll get to later. But I've got to read to you this Sabian symbol for this new moon, because it's very amazing. This is the 29th degree of Capricorn, and it is a woman reading tea leaves. The ability to see the signature of hidden meaning in every occurrence, drawing one's attention. Man has always sought to interpret the meaning of events or situations which baffle him in terms of specific omens or signatures. The reading of tea leaves is only a commonplace modern version of a certain type of procedure used by priests of all ancient religions. Astrology. The practice is based on a realization of, and this is in quotes, the relation of everything to everything else. A definition of astrology given by Mark Jones. Mark Edmund Jones is the one who brought these Sabian symbols to us with the help of the psychic Elsie Wheeler. Dream interpretation in depth psychology belongs to the same category, as it is based upon the establishment of a close connection between the unconscious and the conscious. But in dream analysis, the individual unconscious, at least at first, is mainly referred to, while in omens, right, or modern fortune telling at its best, one relies upon the power of occult forces, hidden secret forces, or entities to convey the information that will clarify confusing situations. What is implied is the ability not only to perceive the facts of everyday existence, but to see through these facts and discover how they are related to the realm of basic meanings or archetypal processes. This is essentially what is meant by true clairvoyance, the capacity to see in everything the signature of deeper realities. Is that deep enough for you? Are we doing a deep dive today? Oh, I'll tell you what, this is what I love about astrology, and I was blown away to pull up this Sabian symbol because I was writing, texting or somebody, how this is what attracted me to astrology in the first place, was that it connected together aspects, phenomena, events, of life that otherwise I would not have realized were connected. right? I mean, think of the connection, right, between sex, death, depth psychology, bank loans, divorce, right, insurance, and inheritance, and shamanism. Do you see, where are these connected? Astrology connects them very much so with the 8th house. And we can go into your health. What does your health have to do with your work? Have to do with your daily routine? Have to do with your aunts and uncles? Right? Have to do with your coworkers? And it's like, well, this is all in the 6th house. Right? And so, going through the houses, going through the planets, and going through the signs, astrology says, you know what? This is connected to that. And when something happens over here, it triggers something happening over there. And this is all a web of life. And we are in the web, baby. And as the outside, so the inside. As above, so below. I mean, this is just like, whoa, 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 whoa. So when things are happening in the collective, okay, there's also an indication, okay, that there's something, that I am personally, to see, experience, witness. Some of it is projection. Some of it is how I interpret each and every reality. And so there is this change going on. The world is changing. This is what the mantra says. That is what is going on today. I want to talk about the planet Uranus. It's in the final degrees of Taurus after 7 years. Uranus wants to raise the bar. Uranus is the future. It's not only science and technology and astrology and, rocket science and, drones and everything, it has to do, okay, with enlightenment. Aquarius, all these planets now moving into Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So we're going to have this undertowing, okay, process. And what is Uranus? It is the process of individuation. And it throws us back onto ourselves. It throws us back onto our own creative genius. Wherever Uranus is in your birth chart, that's where you've got your genius, baby. Tap into that, right? Relate to that. But the thing about this genius and this individuation, what is it? It's like Uranus is the alarm clock. It's the breaker of ruts. Whenever we find ourselves in a rut, repeating, a situation, a pattern, having our childhood conditioning, carrying our mother's guilt and our father's, shame and the belief systems that, we were born into, and, all this baggage that we are all carrying from past lives and from childhood. And we're coming forward, and it's like, we have to be like a rosebud, okay, that, like opens up, and like, get out of my way. I want to be a rose. I am a rose. Yeah, and it's like we have to, almost like a plant breaking through the sidewalk. I mean, plants are strong enough to, tree roots, like breaking through the concrete sidewalk. The life force within us wants to express our own unique, authentic, creative genius. And when our ego is afraid and we hold on to a person, a place, a title, a money, a job, a family, when we hold on to these things because we're afraid, Uranus can come along like a bolt of lightning. Boom, 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 off it goes. It's in your way. Get it out of the way. So, Uranus creates unpredictable, sudden, shocking events, accidents. Okay, when it's, in aspect to Mercury, Mars, you got your car accidents, okay? Jupiter, you got your plane accidents. And, Saturn, you've got, your, embassies blowing up or whatever. I mean, there, you can relate this, to many different things. Uranus going through Taurus has been upsetting the supply chain. It's been upsetting the banking system. It's been upsetting currency. It's been upsetting food production. I mean, there's just so much that is this Taurus, Earth, grounded, sufficient, self-sufficiency, energy, money. And Uranus coming through here is discover and find your own. Yeah? And find new sources of energy, new sources of money, new sources of income, new ways of providing for yourself, new ways of sustaining in a very unstable situation, world situation. So, all these institutions falling down on us, and the politicians lying to us, and the, all the tycoons trying to control us. This is, like I've said before, this going through Capricorn is coming into our own authority. And it can have a certain amount to do with crisis, but now there's a shift. As of Sunday, this new moon, it's in late Capricorn, and then Monday, Tuesday, we have this whole stellium moving into Aquarius. And Aquarius is liberation. Freedom from the known, from the established, from the familiar. It's moving into the future. And it's moving into not that I am not totally alone, but I'm going to work with community. I'm going to work with friends. I'm going to work with others, groups of people. I am not existing alone on this planet. Shared resources, bringing our energy together, our time, our money, our ideas, brainstorming. So this next month, there are going to be great opportunities for all of us to create new relationships, make new investments, step out into, create a new world. And we create this new world by recreating ourselves, right? It's just like, we're getting over victim consciousness. This is in the midst of turbulence, we are Olympic surfers, right? And we got to surf that wave. We've got to balance. We've got to, really, stay in our center. Keep your center of gravity low and spread your roots out, right? Just think, horse stance, in Qigong, okay, in Taekwondo, and in the martial arts, you kind of bend your knees, and you kind of sit down in those hips a little bit. You lower your center of gravity, you spread those legs out, and you become very awake, very aware, very conscious. Uranus in Aquarius is mindfulness. It's opening this third eye, and it's really seeing, okay, the interconnectedness of everything, and how when I meet someone at the checkout counter, and they know something that I'm curious about, or I overhear this conversation, or this pops up on my feed, or someone sends me a link that sends me over. I mean, it's just like really paying attention, and not only paying attention, but taking in. And of course we can get overwhelmed, by taking in too much, okay? But we take it in and we feel it in our bodies. Is this exciting? Does this light me up? Does this make me smile? Does this give me hope? Does this bring me down? Does this make me scared? Does this, make me feel heavy, and want to hide somewhere? I mean, it's being this very present mindfulness in our bodies of people, friends, other co-workers, bosses, employees, relationships. Are these people bringing me down? Don't bring me down. That could be the song for this week, but I have the other one that I have that I really love. I have to go back to King Crimson. In the court of the Crimson King. On soft gray mornings widows cry, the wise men share a joke. I run to cast divining signs to satisfy the hoax. The yellow jester does not play, but gently pulls the strings and smiles as the puppets dance in the court of the Crimson King. You have to hear the song. The music makes a big difference. Check it out. It'll be in the link below. But anyway, yeah, just to get come back to this sense of what I'm really talking about today is what? Yeah. I commit to changing my life before it changes me. My greatest excitement and deepest passion is the fuel that will set me free. Let's face it, change is the only constant. The Capricorn-Cancer axis is the axis of security, emotional and financial security. And all this sun, moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus moving out of the security axis is moving into what I like to call the creativity axis, Leo Aquarius. So this next month, it's time to, hopefully this last month, you've been managing your accounts and your affairs and your business, and you've got some things in order so that you are ready to leap ahead and go into the future and maybe take some risks, make some investments in yourself. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, what? It's not about adapting to the outside. It's not about following, this is where, all the authority is collapsing on us so that we are free. Let's look at the upside of the coin. The upside of the coin is, you know what? I'm now able to, do what I want. I mean, I have to do what I want. Let's put it that way. Yeah? This is time where do or die. I've got to do what I got to make this happen. Right? Boom. Nobody's going to do it for me. I'm not going to be a victim. And so much of this is this Uranus trining the stellium from Taurus. And that is, it's time for me to develop my capacities, my talents, and my skills. Let's really refine what talent and skills you've got. Make the most of the talents and skills that you've got. Apply the talents and skills that you've got. And it's like, as you change and as you get bigger and as you blow yourself up and as you become more valuable to your friends, family, and the world is going to smile back at you. The world is going to compensate you. But if you sit back and are waiting for handouts or hoping that things are going to change or da 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 da, you're not. It's one of those laws of creation that what goes around comes around, and that what we put out comes back to us. So just check, what are you putting out? Are you putting out, I'm awesome, I'm amazing, I'm ready, I'm excited, I'm passionate about life and about the future, and let's do it? If you're putting it out, guess what? It's going to come back, man. So it's like, put a smile on your face. Ow! One more time. Let me get down, and I commit to changing my life before it changes me. And I end up on the street. No. My greatest excitement and deepest passion is the fuel that will set me free. Uranus, Aquarius, liberation, freedom, here we come. Brothers and sisters, unite. Let's create peace within, and it will radiate and make the world peaceful outside. Everything starts at home. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. Ow!